You know, one thing that I really noticed heavily within the entrepreneur community and any kind of visionary leader is the art of selling yourself. A lot of times your business or your very organization depends on the way that you sell yourself. This requires confidence, but sometimes confidence can be disguised as insecurities. We feel the need to be validated and accepted. Sometimes we can be confident in who God made us to be, but yet we still want to see validations from others. Let's talk about it. The KYREN Monteiro Show, Season 3, Episode number 7. That means after 7. Y'all know how we do, man. We about to bring some music in. Blessings. Let go. What's up, baby? Oh, you ain't gonna dance to it? Hey, let's go.
When I started with this vision, people thought I was a scrub.
Yeah.
Now they show me love.
You would think I was the
plug.
Yeah.
Now I got the keys and I'ma show you what it is. King on this grind, you know I handle my business.
You know I'm getting to these
blessings, 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 blessings.
I tell them something like a hater hate, but we okay. Stacking chips, zero lanes. Tell them check the circle. What?
Zero lanes. Squad of fighters. We beat the game.
What's going on, everybody? My name is KYREN Monteiro. Welcome to the KYREN Monteiro Show, presented by Frequency Canvas. This is Season 3, Episode number 7, featuring the one and only Dr. Jayda Monteiro, a.k.a. my wife. Baby, hit the button so to give him a round of applause. Round of applause, man. What's up, baby?
Hey.
How you doing?
You know, I'm just hanging out in the canvas.
Why don't you intro yourself for the people? Tell them.
Stop.
Introduce yourself.
All right. Well, I'm Jayda Monteiro. Doctor.
All right.
Dr. Jayda Monteiro. And this man here gave me his last name 12 years ago. Right?
For sure.
12 years ago. But yeah, so I'm a social worker by trade, wife, mother. And I'll just really I'm just a person at the end of the day. I'm a person at the end of the day.
Very, very humble introduction. So today, man, I wanted to bring wifey on because she has 3 degrees in this thing called social work, what is the percentage in the therapeutic community that are social workers?
80%. About 80%.
About 80%. Social about 80% of therapists are social workers.
Yes.
Come from the social work community.
Yes.
So with you having not only a bachelor's or a master's, but a doctoral degree in social work, and you also what are you doing now? What are you doing now as a social worker?
Oh, yes. So I'm a full-time educator now.
So she's Professor Dr. Jayda Monteiro now for the School of IU of Social Work. A round of applause, man. All right, man. So today's episode is called "I'm Confident, but Validate Me?" I'm gonna say that one more time. I'm confident, but validate me. Everybody hit it with me. All right? And so Season 3 I've dedicated to the Visionary series. I am an entrepreneur, which I guess in a way make me a leader in some kind of way.
Yeah.
And so I kind of lead at church in some areas.
Yes.
But I'm definitely an entrepreneur. I've been a visionary since I've been a kid. And I realized the struggles of building these things from the ground up. So as I'm on my journey, I'm just trying to throw some free game back out into the world to help other people on their journey. And so one thing that I can say, I'll be the first to admit this, I'm a very confident person, but at times I seek out validation from other people, or maybe I want to feel like I need to prove something, maybe from things in the past that I've been through. And my wife has always tried to tell me, like, stop seeking validation from people. She really been like a personal therapist, no cap. and has diagnosed me with some stuff. You know what I'm saying? But it's all right though, you know. So, nah, I'm playing, man. She's always been supportive, but she definitely keep it real with me. And so I wanted to bring her on here, even though I said I wasn't gonna do any guest features on this podcast. Technically, this don't count because she own half the company.
I'm about to say I pay rent.
Oh, you pay rent? Yeah, she help invest and she helping run the stuff. So this the only time of these 10 episodes in this season that we're gonna have somebody on here. And so, you know, I wanna get into some of these questions for you because I don't want to hold the people long. This is the first thing I want to ask you. Is it possible to completely be confident in yourself and still seek validation? Expound on that. Answer that and expound on that.
Yeah, 1,000%. It's 1,000% possible to be confident in who you are as a person and what you bring to the table, what your values are, but then still seek some external validation for that. And I say that because there's different ways to seek validation, right? There's a term like if my best friend says that I'm thank you, baby. If my best friend says that I'm not wrong, then I'm not wrong. Right. So I think there's sometimes situations that we go through, things that we're handling that we may seek some advice just to say, hey, how you feel about this? But once that person say, I'm good. Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I don't want to get off. So let me ask question number 2. What is a realistic way to be confident yet not arrogant or have too much ego?
I think the issue is that having too much ego or being arrogant comes into play when you are worried about someone else. Your confidence should come from within who you are, knowing your own value and worth as a person. And it doesn't have to do with Tom or Jerry that's sitting next to me. That has nothing to do with anyone else. It's all about how I feel about myself. And that is what I then express, and that is what illuminates off of me in society. To be confident, me being confident means I don't have to worry about you. But if I'm trying to stunt on the person next to me, that's where arrogancy comes into play. That's when my ego is taking more of the journey than I intend for it to, because now I need to show up the next person.
Why? Okay, this is a side question before I get to question 3. Why is it that, and I think this is everywhere, but I think in the black communities, in Black America and in different black communities, we've seen this like crazy. Mm-hmm. Why is it that you can have kind of a forefront person trying to navigate and open doors, and yet the very people that leaders and different people have tried to open doors for, the jealousy and the envy comes from people that are close to you, more so than it does far from you? Why do you think that is?
Stranger, yeah. Because sometimes the places where we've been planted, the places where we have roots, sometimes the people around us can't stand to see someone growing when they're not.
Ooh.
So sometimes when you have people that you expect them to be in your corner for whatever reason that is, that they're a relative, they're a really close friend, we've known each other since babies, but sometimes they can't stand to see that evolution. And even sometimes you feel the energy before anything outwardly is done.
I like that answer. I like being able to ask questions. Somebody else just, saying what they say. Question number 3 for you. How much does people's past life and personal trauma that they've experienced feed into the need of being accepted and validated by other people?
Oh, man.
Take as long as you need.
Yeah, I mean, your personal history, whatever traumas you've experienced, they come into foreplay. You got to remember the first thing that we do as children, as infants, in growing up is we're seeking validation, right? As kids, with our behavior, we're behaving a certain way for our parents, caregivers, whoever that may be, and we want them to tell us if it's right or wrong. And we interpret that by if it's praised or if it's condemned at the time with the behavior, right? So as a child, depending on whatever that behavior was, if you are continuously praised for how you're behaving, that is how you become socialized. That's how you behave outwardly and keep going. Same thing about, I think we have a conversation about, you were saying how in high school or even teachers growing up, you never had a teacher that was like, you're not going to be nothing, right? All your teachers believed in you. They spoke life into your vision, into who you were as a person, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you hear that in a lot of rap songs. Mm-hmm. I mean, I got a local client. He just said the same thing, like, shout out to my teacher who said I wasn't going to be nothing.
Right, okay.
Yeah, that never happened to me.
Right. So yeah, but think about in someone's childhood who it's the opposite. Someone consistently told them you're never going to be nothing, or just demonstrated that they didn't have faith in who they could be, showing their potential. That later on in life, that person as an adult is trying to heal, knowing that they could have been anything that they wanted to be. And maybe they've taken some left, right, wrong turns. But that childhood, that history has kind of shaped how they've moved forward.
Okay. Anything else to add to that?
I think too, I want to make sure that it goes on the flip side too, because it's not just the negative. I'll speak from my experience as throughout my childhood. As a child, I was praised when I did well, right? Okay. So I received a lot of praise, especially academically, in extracurricular activities. So then that conditioned me to be like, oh, I got to keep doing well. Yeah. Right? I got to keep doing these things. I got to keep doing well. But it's a slippery slope, because you can then associate your achievements with your worth.
Yeah, I think I struggle with that. Do I still struggle with that right now?
I don't know. I don't see it as much.
But like for me coming up, so like growing up, I've been at here in the city of Marion, Indiana. I've been at the same church, Greater Second Baptist Church. Salute to my church, man. Great church. Salute to my Pastor Benny Powell, senior, and everything that he's trying to do within the community. Great vision. Round of applause for that, man. You gotta get a round of applause, man. I love my pastor. I do, man. Great person. But growing up in church, the first thing, like all of my friends, we grew up, I think our age group, I'm 33, you're 32 currently. Our age group, we grew up, I think our age group and older grew up in very competitive time periods prior to social media and everything existing, because it was like if there was multiple kids in the house, you're fighting for attention. Right. I come from a huge family, so it's like fighting for that attention. I always accuse, God rest my grandmother's soul, Janice Louise Jackson Major, salute to her, my grandfather, Elder Lloyd Majors, but I was always accused, like, you the favorite grandchild. So it was competitive there. When I was 5 years old, they threw me on the drums without drum lessons, and I just started playing and kind of quickly was better than grown men who played. And I remember at the age of 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, having grown men being envious as a kid. Mm-hmm. Like the weirdest bleep ever. Like it was so weird to me. So I always felt like it made me competitive from a young age. I always felt like I had to have like that Kobe kind of kill-ish and knock people's head off. And I always felt like the more I accomplish, the more I achieve, the more it's like flip a hater off and prove people wrong. that like determined my value and my identity. And it was like false confidence, because it's like the more I achieve, the bigger I feel. But then it's like, if I'm not achieving goals that I set for, then I feel like small. I feel like this big.
Yes.
So it's kind of like I've struggled with that throughout the years.
Oh yeah, yeah. But I also think it's key to really look at how you, at the age of 5, someone had faith in you to say, "Hey, let's put him on the drums." Right? At the age of 5, right? And I know that, obviously I know you a little more personally, but I know that for many years, people have had a different amount of faith in you, and what you could bring to the table. And I think the difference is that with some people, they only get that recognition when they're achieving. They got to go achieve first. No one gave them that faith beforehand. No one told them, "Hey, I know you can do this, so I'm gonna go ahead and give you this opportunity." So we have a lot of people who are building. We have a lot of people who are building themselves up, and who have been, kind of conditioned in their mind to either think, one, I'm not worthy because someone said I never could, or one, I'm not worthy if I'm not doing.
Okay, that's deep. That's definitely deep. Another question for you. Question 4: how important is mental health to an entrepreneur and leader for their journey to success?
I think that you already kind of explained to us, right? Like, especially when you are an entrepreneur, you are literally, you're paving your own way. You're creating the roadmap that other people don't even know, right? Nobody knows your vision like you do. So I think when it comes to your mental health, it's really important for you to take care of yourself. You can't be anything for anyone else. You can't build anything if you are not taking care of yourself, being in touch with how you are emotionally and mentally. And what does that mean? And also knowing what it is I need to get there. Right. I think we have multiple days or times when you're like, I'm in a groove or I'm not, right? I need to be working. I need to be working right now. I'm ready to be working, or I really just need a break. And I always tell you to be mindful of those times, right? Like,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, if you need the rest, you need the rest. It's a vision on its own that you're creating by yourself. So it's really important that you take care of you.
I don't really have nothing to add to that. I'll let the expert speak. I'm just going to ask questions. Question number 5 for you. Last question that I got wrote down. Is the want of being accepted and validated by other people good or bad? Can it be healthy, or is it detrimental? You want me to ask it again, or you got it?
No, I got it.
All right, cool.
I think the desire for validations is sometimes very necessary. I will say that, especially depending on the situation. There are times where I've handled situations, or I think I've handled situations, but I'm always going to call my sister. Shout out to my sister. Shout out to my sister.
You gonna send her the YouTube link quick too. I shouted you out.
Hey, sissy. Fun fact: my sister was the first person in my life to tell me, "Jayda, you can do whatever it is you want to do. Whatever you want to do." And so I'm probably gonna call my sister, and I'm gonna tell her the situation. I'm gonna say, "How did I handle this?" That's seeking validation, right? That's seeking her opinion. Sometimes I can call best friend, call my husband, and say, "Honey, this is how I'm feeling," right? This happened, and I'm feeling some type of way. And you saying to me, "Baby, I understand," right? I understand how you feel that way. That's you validating my emotions. So sometimes seeking that validation is extremely necessary. It's the validation of one's person that we want to be wary of, right? I don't need someone telling me, I I don't need someone to validate me as a person. I know I'm a kick-ass mom. I know I'm a bomb wife. I know that I have done great things within my career, and I don't need anyone validating that. That self-worth has to come from inside. It's not going to mean anything if somebody else is doing that for me. But there are certain situations where you do need to be validated, and it's good.
Yeah.
Those are good things.
Okay. The second part of that being like, can validation be healthy or is it detrimental? Can you talk about that just a little bit more?
Yeah, so I'll go for the flip side. When validation is detrimental to one's, right? When you are consistently looking for others to define you, right? When you're looking for someone else to be the definition of KYREN Monteiro, if I was looking for other people to pomp and circumstance at Dr. Jayda Monteiro, that would be detrimental, right? That's sometimes it's showing a lacking in how I feel about myself. Because that's the most important, is how I feel about myself. It is healthy seeking validation situationally when you are kind of doing a checks and balance. That's the best way that I can describe it. I'm not looking for someone to change my own opinion, but sometimes I need someone to check me, right? Or I need to be checked, or I need to be balanced out. We talk a lot about how we are so different.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be able to think through it through the long run, and he is he's coming for you.
I'm more impulsive.
Hot and heavy right off the top, but sometimes I need a balance.
Yeah.
Right. That's healthy. Checks and balances, looking for validation for different other reasons.
I'll say this before we go. One thing that I've noticed is like the times when I've been chasing validation, whether it was intentional or unintentional, and the times that I've been like trying to seek that out, or let me just be more plain, to like prove something. Most of the time, the results that I want don't happen.
Oh yeah.
But it's in the moments where I'm just focused on the vision and chasing that, then things come on. Like not a flex, but the fact that we up for the master nomination this year from the Avidity Awards. Master Engineer of the Year. I wasn't even expecting that until my good homie, shout out to my dude Darius D. Darling, State Royal Productions. Go get his album, I'll Press On. Great album, doing some great things. But until he texted me and was like, yo, I just voted for you for Master Engineer of the Year at the Avidity Awards. Did you know you were nominated? I'm like, what are you talking about? Then he sends a screenshot, and then I call him. Yeah. And as soon as I got off the phone with him, I called you. And then as soon as I got off the phone with you, I just ran back and forth from the office like 10 times. Because it's extremely hard as an audio engineer to be nominated, let alone win. Just the nomination itself makes you an award nominated, blah.
Yeah.
And so even in that moment, like, I had to stop myself because I'm like, I remember this person said this. I remember you was acting like this. I remember this person said I couldn't do it. And it's like, you almost shower the moment of when it comes. So, I think when you're chasing clout, when you're trying to prove something to somebody, when you wanting that validation for the wrong reasons, I think whatever results you're wanting to happen is not going to happen. And very rarely do people, like, people don't care. I went through this phase where I was like, as an artist, I was buying diamonds and a lot of jewelry to kind of flex on people, like, oh, I could get it too without trap money though.
Right.
And outside of it being in a photo shoot and just some entertaining lines, nobody cares. I mean, you might get some compliments like, "Hey, bro, that watch is crazy," right? You know? But it's like at the end of the day, nobody cares. People like, yo, how are you as a person?
Right.
How do you talk to people? How do you treat people? What's your integrity like?
Right. So let me ask you this question then. So do you feel like when you have sought external validation for whatever reason, when you're seeking that out, in those times, do you feel like you are being true to yourself?
No. So I think everybody wants validation. I think everybody wants to be accepted. I think I seen Shannon Sharp talking about this on some kind of, it was either a TV show or a podcast. I don't know if it was with Stephen A. Smith or somebody else, but they was having a similar conversation to like, and he talked about how, you know, he won several Super Bowls. He's a legendary Hall of Famer and a former NFL player. And he talked about like, yo, I wanted them championships and these trophies for certain kind of thing because that reflects greatness of work that I put in. So I think a certain level of validation is like good. Like as a professional audio engineer, like I want major label credits. I want Billboard credits. I want to win awards. I wanted the Sweetwater magazine article. I wanted to be in the front page of the newspaper. I wanted, the Economic Growth Council Award as an entrepreneur. Like, these is resume stuff. So, like, it honors work that you put in. But at the end of the day, if it's not for me, how am I trying to word this? If it's anything outside of wanting to be respected for the work that I put in, I think if you go outside of wanting the respect and the validation for the work put in, for the grind, for building the vision, I think that's a healthy part. I think when you look for personal validation, identity building, things outside of that are attached to the vision itself and the grind itself, I think that's where it starts getting unhealthy. At least for like entrepreneurs and visionaries anyway. Yeah.
I could definitely understand the aspects of recognition for hard work, right? That's 1,000%. I do think that, I guess I'll pose the question to the greatest audio engineer to come out of Marion, Indiana. I posed the question.
I ain't say that. She said that.
Hey, if even without the Sweetwater article, without maybe the nomination, without the top charting label clients, aren't you so great?
Yes, I am. I think it's like this. Okay, I'll be real in front of the whole world. I want to go down at anything that I touch. I want to be the best at it.
Hey,
I want to be. If I can't be the greatest at it, I want to go down as one of the best at it. And I feel like if you don't have that mentality to lock in, and you don't want to be one of the greatest at what you do, then why are you doing it? You know what I'm saying? Outside of you loving something and being passionate, that's cute. But you jump in the water to be the best swimmer.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? You trying to be the best great white shark in the water. You're not trying to miss a meal. So for me, yes, I would still be great I still would be a great engineer in the sense of skill sets, in the sense of clientele experience, and like what is provided by the business. But I think that there's a certain level of conversation that cannot happen if some of those things don't reflect the grind. Okay, prime example. Charles Barkley is a phenomenal, legendary player in the NBA, right? Great player in the NBA. Allen Iverson, phenomenal, great player in the NBA. Karl Malone, legendary player. But then there's a tier of people like Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, LeBron, Shaquille O'Neal, Magic Johnson, Tim Duncan, the Isaiah Thomases, the Kevin Durant's, the Steph Curry's.
Your favorites.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I love Paul George, right? Mm-hmm. He's an Indiana born superstar in the sense of like as an NBA player, he became a superstar on the Pacers.
Yeah,
but he is as great as he is. There's a tier of like LeBron, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Kawhi Leonard having 2, like them championships matter.
Listen, I'm not disagreeing at all.
I'm trying to put the rings on.
Listen, I'm not disagreeing at all. But I would caution anyone, especially I think from a woman's perspective, a little bit. Men have a little bit more competitive edge sometimes. Okay, and I think especially from a woman's perspective, I would caution anyone. I use a term, and I do a lot of work in the DEI space, and I use the term in that space that acknowledgement is everything, right? So of course we want recognized. We want recognized for great works and things like that. I think the dangerous slippery slope is correlating that recognition with your own worth.
I agree.
So
I agree. So I'm confident, but validate me, question mark. I think that there's been a lot covered in this episode. Hit a round of applause for the people listening. Probably went a little longer than we thought, but I think it was good. I want to bring you on here because we actually had these kind of this is normal conversation for us, honestly.
All day long.
Yeah. So she be on my you know what. If I make a Facebook post that's too arrogant or something, why are you posting that? Take that down, or you could have said it like this. So it's just like, shout out to my dude, Andre Miles Jr., a.k.a. Johnny Lovely, because he's a friend too. Like, between him and Jayda, they definitely, like, you know, I made a couple of posts about, like, working on this project I'm working on. They got, like, a Juicy J and Gucci Man features. And I remember asking you if it was too arrogant. I remember the first time I posted about Gucci, I remember Love was like, yeah, it's kind of a fletch. So I told him that I disagreed, but I did sit back and look and analyze, like, why did I do this?
Why did I do it?
Yeah.
Yeah, 1,000%. I think that it's another conversation for another day, but I think a lot of times when I'm talking about what we're posting and things like that, it's because not everybody is for you. That's the hard realization, is that not everybody is for you. So when you posting all your wins, you posting your coming soons, you got to remember that it's snakes in the grass.
That's fine, and that's why we cut the grass. Round of applause, man. Hey, man, I want to thank y'all for tuning in, man. I know this is a more lengthy episode on this one, man, but I feel like it was necessary. Make sure that you check out the KYREN Monteiro Show on platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts /YouTube, because they're converting Google Podcasts to YouTube now, Amazon Music, etc., all of that type of stuff. Be sure to share and like. Check out the website, KYRENMonteiro.com. One more time, man, we're going to get out of here on some dope music. My latest single, Blessings, brought to you by Engage Records. Fight Squad, the movement. Let's go. Shout out to Dr. Jayda Monteiro, a.k.a. Wifey, for being on here. Let's get it.
When I started with this vision, people thought I was a scrub.
Yeah.
Now they show me love. You
would think I was the plug.
Now I got the keys and I'ma show
We
you
still
what
going.
it is. King on this grind, you know I ain't on my feet. You know I'm getting to these blessings, 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 blessings,
blessings. We out of here. Say one last word to the people, baby. Then we out.
Peace out.
Peace and love. Blessings.